Atomica, a character with a twist that was both unexpected but also predictable at the same time. But now Atomica is, for context, Earth 3's evil version of the Atom, being Rhonda Pineda. Of which Atom, you might ask? It's actually kind of unclear. The character is Latino, which hasn't been a Latino Atom before, so it can be presumed that she is an original character who just takes on the name of the Atom. Or Atomica, she does both. She would debut in the New 52. She would first appear in Justice League Comics in 2013, as part of a group of possible recruits for the League. Black Canary, Firestorm, Vixen, Zatanna, Platinum, and 3 new characters, Element Woman, Goldrush, and a female Atom. They were called upon during a little bit of a issue during Ocean Master's whole run of the sea on Earth, where he was drowning cities like Ultimatum. So these groups of heroes were all called upon to try to help out, and these heroes were the ones who responded. And now they're being considered to actually join the League. But during this whole conversation of who should join, who shouldn't, Platinum kind of malfunctions and straight up attacks everybody. We also get some pretty fun moments between Goldrush and the Flash, where Goldrush is just very aggressively flirting with the Flash, and he is just having none of it, calling her Gold Digger. Anyways, doesn't need to do with Platinum or the female Atom. I just wanted to mention it because it's really funny. Platinum is going berserk and just like straight up attacking everybody. Firestorm is definitely holding his own, so is Element Woman. But the female Atom is the one who actually beats her and actually saves her because her whole like programming is in the sphere in her brain, and it needs to be secure in order to make sure that she can be brought back. Because despite the fact she is a robot, she's kind of a robot in the same sense as Vision is one. As they still consider Platinum a person, and if that sphere is broken or damaged at all, she's practically dead. We see Rhonda as a very shy but competent hero. She also enjoys video games, shrinking into computers to play video games on her own, with a sort of Atom reference, which I did enjoy. I'm not entirely sure how she's playing video games within the computer if she's shrinking into the computer. Maybe I'm stupid, but that doesn't really make any sense to me. She's just going into the wiring. The computer stuff is virtual. We're not looking at the microverse on our screens. I don't know, maybe I'm just an idiot and I don't know how it works, but that doesn't really make much sense to me, but it is fun. Rhonda also ends up having a run of Despero, as was Firestorm and Element Woman, when Despero shows up just straight up attacking the new recruits. Martian Manhunter does show up and defeat Despero, however, they think that Atomica is the one who defeated him, so she takes the credit and pretends like she did defeat him because Martian Manhunter was actually not intended to be there, but intervened because of the fact that, if he didn't, they would have died. But that's a whole different story that we're about to get into. You see, Rhonda was actually a mole on the team for the JLA team run by Amanda Waller, which Martian Manhunter was a part of. That's why Atomica, whose name for some unknown reason I am just trying to say Atom and Atomica at the same time, was even on the team in the first place. She was there to spy on the League. It's also the reason why she went along with Martian Manhunter telling her not to tell them that he defeated Despero. But Rhonda shows that she actually feels remorse for betraying the League, and still manages to keep a status on it and have the respect of the team members when the teams work together. She still is referred to as being a hero, and is still going by the name of the Atom. However, before that, Superman would accidentally kill Dr. Light, who was some reason drafted to be on the JLA team that's run by Amanda Waller. I have no idea why she did that. They try to play it off as like each member has a reason to be on the team, to be like a foil for one of the members of the League. But in my opinion, they don't really develop that, nor does it really make any sense, some of the characters they try to put against each other. Don't get me wrong, I like this arc, just that whole part of it isn't really developed, and I think it could have been more, because it does seem a little random as to why Arthur Light was even on the team in the first place. Then we find out the truth. She is Atomica from Earth 3, and is a female evil version of the Atom. Now, the reason why she is a woman isn't actually really explained, because Earth 3 is an evil twin Earth, like the KFC tie-ins said it was. But everyone else is the same gender as they are on Earth Prime or Earth 1. So it's not really explained as to why Atomica, who is the Atom, is a different gender, as well as ethnicity, because there hasn't been a Latino Atom. There's been a Asian Atom and a white Atom. Anyways, she frames Superman for killing Dr. Light by going into his brain and hitting a nerve with kryptonite that resulted in him hitting Arthur with heat vision. She'd also infected Cyborg with a virus that ended with Grid being born and almost killed Victor. Atomic afterwards would just be a cold-blooded killer and revealed to be dating Johnny Quick, but would meet an end by Lex Luthor's foot. Damn, that is a very, very bad way to go out. But in all fairness, at that point, I think a lot of people didn't like the character because, she betrayed the League. So you just had Lex step on her like the pest she was. Also, that's not hate to Atomica. I actually really liked the character. I think she's a pretty cool villain. However, there were people that were upset that she was revealed to be a villain in the first place because the persona that she had put on originally was actually quite interesting, and a lot of people really did kind of gravitate towards the character. However, once she was revealed to be an actual villain, that no longer could be the case because she was a straight-up serial killer. And she would be brought back after dying because, it's comics. However, in a fairly ugly costume. I'm sorry, I don't like her new costume. I like her old one. Now, the reason why this whole twist is seen as being both predictable and unpredictable is because, well, there were a lot of clues. One, she is another version of the Atom regardless if she is evil or not. Two, her personality kind of shifts around a little bit. For example, when she first is brought in on the League, she's very competent and very confident. However, afterwards, she becomes more shy and mellow. Three, which is probably the biggest one, it was revealed that two people from Earth 3 did make it to Earth 1 or Earth Prime. I forget what they were calling it at the time. One being the outsider, and the other one being a mystery. But from the shading of the photo and the panels we saw of that happening, it is very obviously is a woman. And 4, it was already announced that the Crime Syndicate was going to return. And that the entire arc was going to happen. And because of that promotion, a lot of people kind of saw that Atomica very clearly was going to be a villain. But if you weren't paying attention to promotion, you likely might have not seen it, as the clues weren't huge in your face, but they were something that you definitely could have noticed. Personally, I have to admit, I did kind of see it coming. Mainly because how much the character was being focused on, and how the current whole comic book industry was focusing more on gritty and dark twists and stuff. So, with that character being all funny and bubbly, the likely chance of the character being that way in reality was, in my opinion, unlikely. Also, the promotion and everyone online theorizing it kind of made it obvious that, yeah, she was evil. Which also is something that definitely, I think, affects somebody reading a story. Because if you see theories online, you can start to think that they are true, or they can actually be true, and they could eventually ruin the story for you. And ruin the twist when it actually happens, because you already know, or a part of you thinks it's going to happen, like I did when I read this story. Also, I got a little confused because I kept on calling her the Atom, but also there were other Atoms active at this moment. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that a character shared the name of another established character, both active at the same time. In fact, there have been two Atoms at the same time too, Ryan and Ray. So I suppose it isn't that weird, but it did catch me off guard that no one was really mentioning it. And is she meant to be Ray or Ryan? Or is she meant to be like a fusion of both of them? But anyways, that's it. Like always, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!